Yeah, boom to the hay, all you sports fans out there in the tubosphere, to you, the individuals, part of the collective. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Rack Highlights here on Talk Radio version of the OMSR. I am your brief but concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Throw. Talk briefly and concisely second half of Stanford, going all the way off to the other side of the country versus UCONN. Okay, so the sponsor of this show is the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It covers the fair use, standard, minimal use, and derivatives. So all the video highlights courtesy to ESPN and the respective universities. A little shout out to the NCAA. Everything else over here to the OMSR. Alright, so all the tournaments are, you know, what they gotta call like the preseason, even though it's obviously within the season. More like the in conference season. Tournaments are over with, but there's still a good time of year in the sense of schools getting together that don't necessarily see each other a lot or have met hardly a lot, if ever. And this is happening more and more throughout the years with college basketball, universities that play just college basketball, scheduling tougher games so that their RPI goes up. So I don't want to spoil it for you on this one, but it did come down to change of momentum. Always cover the second half here on the OMSR. Let the on-site commentator team take us through the first half. There's just not enough time, given the aforementioned DMCA, to show everything. Just not enough time. You still end up with a slightly longer highlight reel than you would anywhere else on a consistent basis. Sure, there may be some clips out there that show full 2 hours worth or 2.5 hours worth from any one game. That's probably the only time they did it, if they did it without permission. Alright, so second half coming up. Thanks for watching. No silly DUIs while you're out there. Roll clips.
Presented by Cage Yours.
And you're watching the American Conference on ESPN as part of Holiday Hoops, presented by Cage Jewelers. Here in the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut, UCONN Huskies with a 10-point halftime lead. John Saunders alongside of Coach Bob Knight, and it was very interesting as we had a tight game throughout the first half. We got to 5, and then suddenly Stanford fell asleep a little bit on the UCONN Huskies.
Well, Stanford had a chance to cut it down twice, which they didn't do, and the ball went to revert it to Connecticut. They took full advantage of it. This is one of the few times, John, that I would really say that shooting has been a big difference in this game. I think that UCONN has basically got a better shot than Stanford has, and they have a better shooting percentage, but I think their shots have been better taken than a lot of the Stanford shots under pressure.
Let's take a look at a Cage Jewelers moment of brilliance, and we'll take you back to those final seconds of a half in 2008 here. They had to Ryan Boat right here. Quick, both ends of the floor.
Well, you know, Stanford didn't take advantage. They had the ball inside twice at the end, and both times they didn't get a bucket out of it. They were kind of sloppy with their play offensively, and that resulted in that 5-point lead run with half.
That close to throw a bounce back.
This is something UCONN needs to get something here in the net. They just haven't been able to thus far. Give it up and go inside.
Clock off under 10 now. Both right with it. Chroma, three-pointer, no good.
Now, see, I think Chroma has a shot fake there. You know how I am about the shot fake. If we were to look at that again, he shot under a lot of pressure. A shot fake gives him a wide-open shot or draws a foul. It's just so valuable, and actually it's so unusual.
Trouble getting the ball into play. UCONN 1 of 10 from the field in this half.
They're changing around pretty good with the 2-3 zone and man-to-man. You've got to get into the gaps of that zone. You're not going to do anything just passing around the perimeter. Somebody's there, right into the gaps. Good feed, good feed.
Olander goes up, misses everything. And the UConn comes up empty.
He gave up a good opportunity for a shot to take a bad.
Boy, Hughes comes down with confidence and hits the jumper that pulls the lead down to 2.
They have really dominated, they being Stanford in the second half, and UConn is not doing a very good job of playing against this 2-3 zone.
11-2 run by Stanford. Broma underneath, maybe 2 fall underneath the bucket.
Boy, that's about 7 attempts they've had inside within 3 feet of the bucket and haven't gotten anything.
Boy, Powell has missed a bunch of chances underneath with the left, right hand.
There you go.
Boat right.
Ooh.
Comes up short.
Yeah, he comes up short. Yeah.
UConn can't buy a bucket. Randall, there's a couple bodies in the air and drops it down, and we'll have a kick. Oh, just cleared out. Everybody moved away. They picked up the dribble as if they were going to passers that weren't there.
I think he was the most surprised player on the floor, person in the arena. Now, all of a sudden, when he looked, hey, there's nobody here, I can shoot.
Jason Randall with 20 points for Stanford. Calhoun to Napier. Look at 3. Not good. And Powell has just been tremendous on the boards. 14 rebounds. What would you want them doing against this on
I want him to dribble in and get both of those guys come to the ball. Then you're playing 4-on-3 elsewhere. Now there, he brought 2. Get it over here to Boatwright. That was not a good pass. You got to have 2 guys inside, down low, both of them. You don't need that guy out in the corner. Now these 2 guys have got to be exchanging spots inside. Now that's the best kind of shot they're getting. They're not getting anything that goes in some of these Stanford kids. You know, I talked about their trip out here and everything, but they've made more with what they've got by far in the second half than UConn has.
And in their 2 losses to BYU and Pitt, they did not look like a good basketball team. If you look at the rest of the schedules, you basically pretty much say they should have won those games. Randall in off the glass, dances it down.
They've not reacted well defensively. The inside man in that zone should have swiped that ball away. He wasn't even close to it when he released it.
Randall now with 22 points, and Stanford with a 3-point lead. Oh, Daniels trying to do something that's not his game, dribbling that ball. Kevin Ollie's squad has issues right now as Stanford has opened up a 3-point lead, and Jason Randall the close games this season. On the 8th of November to start the season, they beat Maryland by 1 at the Barclays Center. Then in Madison Square Garden, got by Boston College 72-70. Then beat Indiana 59-58. And of course, one of the great games of the season, Shabazz Napier with a big rebound off the miss. A buzzer beater against Florida. Andy Katz watched all of this game.
Well, I was actually at that game trying to chase Shabazz down for an interview after that, but I think Coach Knight can appreciate it wasn't just Napier on that last play. It was that tap back by DeAndre Daniels that really allowed that Napier shot, but the team sometimes relies too much on Shabazz Napier to bail them out. They may have to do that here in the final three minutes as well.
And Andy right now, bailing out might not be the issue. He gets too far away from him. Great defense by UConn. They've turned it up right now. 5 on the shot clock. Stanford turns it over.
Get into trouble against the zone. You can't stay in trouble by keeping the ball on the baseline. Get it back out and start all over again. Because once you get it on the corner baseline, there's not much you can do with it.
Just 8 turnovers to 8 stealing. Well, you had that in about 3 minutes of the first half.
Come up in the middle. Come up in the middle. One of those big guys has got to come up and then reverse it.
Shot clock is down to 7. Defy. Tough shot. Rattles halfway down and Daniels.
Make them waste as much time. Them being UConn. Don't let them just blow it down the floor. Huge.
Oh, he misses it. Now UConn would win it with a three-pointer. And just needed Deuce to tie. Boat right. Kevin Ollie wants a timeout with 21.6 left. Well, that changes a lot for Kevin Ollie because with the guards he has and the ability to penetrate, although now with 21 seconds left, would you stay in that zone or would you?
You know, here's what I might do. If they make,
Oh, pardon me, that was a 2.
If Stanford gets a point here, I'm not so sure that I wouldn't come down on the next play and foul somewhere on the next play because we still have. Now they're not going to have it. Now we'd have had a 3-point lead.
Last few seconds. Oh, Napier didn't try and do it this time.
Oh.
The last time. Surprised to see Shabazz Napier give that ball up, and so was Calhoun.
Ooh, that was a brutal attempt there from UConn. They just came out so poorly in the second half, almost like, hey, this game's over with. Who do we play next? Very, very poor second half for Connecticut from the beginning.
Napier had created space, and really Calhoun didn't have any better shot than Napier did.
No.
Certainly Napier more capable of making the shot even from that distance. But Stanford hands UConn their first loss.